So yeah, here's a video that might seem random and completely out of the blue, but anyone who knows me and has paid attention to this channel knows that when it comes to YouTube, I talk about whatever interests me, whatever particular game or movie comes to mind. And if that deviates from the usual list of things I talk about, so be it. Which is what's going on in this situation, because yeah, I'm talking about Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, because who isn't at this point? Who isn't? I've never caved into peer pressure before. This game is the first time that has happened. I had never played a Metal Gear game before 2022. I was familiar with the series and I looked in and I'd researched it and I knew of the existence of Revengeance. I'd seen videos on it before and reviews, but I never really paid much attention to it. It's something I learned about and then quickly erased from my mind. Cut to the start of 2022 and out of nowhere, this game just explodes. I don't know what happened, but according to Google, it was one Reddit post of a GIF of Jetstream Sam stroking his chin. That's what caused all of this. You know, if this game had come out in 2022, it would be Game of the Year for the sheer popularity it has at the moment. But this is a 9-year-old game, and to see it get new life so many years later is really fascinating, because I'd open TikTok and I'd constantly hear it has to be this way. And I'd be seeing clips of Senator Armstrong saying things he obviously doesn't say in the game, and turns out they were all Maxor clips. You know, and eventually I looked up the song because I'd heard it so many times in almost every video. I liked the song. I was listening to it for ages. I was obsessed with it for about a week. The memes kept coming up. I heard the name Maxor. I looked him up on YouTube. I watched his videos. It was hilarious. I got an interest in the game. I tracked it down. I bought it. And yeah, like everyone else, I completely fell in love with this game. I already knew I kind of would, because this is made by Platinum Games, the developers of Bayonetta, of Astral Chain, of Transformers Devastation, other games, Nier Automata, which I haven't played, but it's coming out on the Switch this year, so that's another Platinum game I'll be enjoying very soon. So Platinum put out really high quality video games, and so I knew just by their name alone this game would be fantastic. And the memes were hilarious, you know, the characters, the way Maxor portrayed Monsoon and Jetstream Sam and Armstrong, you know, very fascinating to see what this game would be. And yeah, this game deserves every bit of success it's gotten. I've played it 5 times now, once in each difficulty, and oh my god, it is just exhilarating to play. The thrill of combat, the boss battles are some of the most fun ever. It took getting used to in the beginning, not having a dodge button, having to parry by moving in the direction of the enemy. I didn't like that at first. It caused me a lot of frustration. Some rage issues. I may have thrown my controller off the wall a few times. But I played it on easy after I kept getting my ass kicked by Blade Wolf. I used the parry assist. And when I beat the game, I went back on normal and I got used to the parry, and now I'm playing it on Revengeance, so I think I've redeemed myself. But it does take getting used to, but once you get into it, it's just exhilarating, the thrill. When you make that parry, especially when you do a counter attack, it's just a very satisfying and visceral feeling when you just get to cut your enemies into shreds of paper, essentially, and the game drops to like 5 frames per second. It's absolutely glorious, and it's a type of violence that like really satisfies you on a deep level, which sounds really psychotic to say, but it's funny because that's one of the themes of the game. You know, they talk about, you know, Monsoon and Armstrong both reference Raiden, or he's also called Jack. That's my name as well, so I'll talk about weird, but they refer to this meta commentary of, you know, Jack, he uses the excuse that he's standing up for the weak, but the reality is he just enjoys the slaughter. And talk about meta commentary in reference to the player. You know, we think we're doing this because, oh, we want to be the hero, but we're doing this because we love the violence. Couple on top of everything else, the fact that it's a Metal Gear game, which lends itself to realism and extreme over the top at the same time. It's bizarre. And then the fact that you have Platinum, who are masters at over-the-top, ridiculous games. It was just a perfect storm, and I had a blast playing this game. I'm obsessed. The memes are obviously hilarious. I've enjoyed the boss fights to death. Monsoon in particular, for such a spastic fight, it's so fun. I really enjoy just parrying the hell out of him, and even though he's running around at 1,000,000 miles an hour, I keep using the word exhilarating, but that's the best way to describe it. It's a very satisfying and it's like Doom with a sword is how I could describe it, really. Just the way you just butcher and make mincemeat out of everything. The environment, enemies. It's a great way to take your anger out, really, when you think about it. Just slashing the game. And, you know, Blade will kick my ass in the beginning, but once I got the hang of the game and I went back to him, he hasn't given me trouble since. Even on Revengeance, I've been burying his ass in like 2 minutes tops. I've just been pummeling him into oblivion, and he hasn't even been able to land an attack on me, and that felt really satisfying to do. And, you know, the dialogue, it's hard to hear the dialogue in its original tense after watching Maxor's video, because now I keep thinking of Sundowner as, you know, this, to avoid the use of the word, this preschool loving psychopath. You know what I'm trying to say here. It's hard to see him any other way. And Jetstream Sam talking about being based, you know, the Maxor's video, like, those characters feel just as valid as their iteration in the original game. And it is quite a perfect storm. It is definitely one of Platinum's best games out there. They don't really make bad games. I know they're in a lot of controversy at the moment because Babylon's Fall was terrible, and, you know, people say they haven't made good games recently, but they made Astral Chain, which was phenomenal. That was a fantastic game. But because they made one game, their reputation is kind of down the drain. They apparently made a Teenage Ninja Turtles game that nobody liked, and Sol Cresta was kind of mediocre. But they made Astral Chain and Transformers Devastation, both of which were acclaimed. So I don't really get what's going on there. But that's outside of the discussion of this game. It's just Platinum at their very best. And it was a perfect game for them to work on. The over-the-top ridiculousness, the plot, the excuse for sword-playing combat. And you can tell they enjoyed it because they've reused some of these elements in later games. Don't believe me? Blade Wolf literally made an appearance in Astral Chain. They reused the same design, recolored them a bit, but it's essentially the same design as the Blade Legion, or Wolf Legion, whatever it's called, the Beast Legion. In Astral Chain, you also have a Blade mode kind of mechanic. And in the latest trailer for Bayonetta 3, we see Viola doing a Zandatsu type of attack in Witch Time. So the memes and the relevance of this game has passed on to Platinum. It has stuck with them. And it's such a shame the whole situation with Kojima and Konami happened, because we're probably never going to get a sequel to this game. Everyone that worked on it wanted to make a sequel, but it's never happened, and we're coming up on 10 years next year since Revengeance came out, so I don't know if we ever will get a game, but there's definitely a lot they can do if they do make a sequel or prequel or whatever. Since Kojima wasn't really involved in this game, it would definitely probably be safer to make a Revengeance sequel rather than Metal Gear Solid 6, so it would be a safe enough option, and people would absolutely love it, especially considering its success and popularity at the moment. But yeah, I have never seen a video game explode quite like this on the internet before. It is really something else. And to explode to the point where it's everywhere, not just on TikTok. I'm in groups unrelated on Facebook and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing Senator Armstrong memes in my Metroid groups. I'm seeing it in fucking relation to like anything else. If you're a fan of anything, you've probably seen this referenced. You've seen Metal Gear referenced in context of that. It's everywhere. Pretty much every second video on my TikTok feed for the last 6 months has been Raiden or Monsoon or just anything. And I love it. It's absolutely crazy. This game is batshit insane. Definitely really underrated, because when it came out at the time, people didn't really like it. It apparently went under the rug. It got good reviews, but it was controversial because it technically wasn't really a Metal Gear game. but people liked it but quickly forgot about it. But it exploded now. Again, the perfect time would have been in 2016, you know, when Donald Trump getting elected and Armstrong saying "Make America Great Again." I'm really surprised the game didn't explode then, but I guess in some weird way, Revengeance has relevance to the world today. Just like the Metal Gear saga as a whole, its themes and its political statements are always relevant. It's one of those franchises that, for its silliness and its stupidity, it carries a lot of weight and relevance and I guess warning to the real world. And you know, Monsoon and Armstrong are right when they talk about memes spreading in both the intellectual and the internet comedic sense. In both meanings of the word, memes, they have become the DNA of our lives. They have taken over everything. We spread them, we reshare them, we influence each other. Like when you really think about it, like Hideo Kojima and everyone that worked in this game, he feels like Nostradamus or something, as I saw someone else call him, because this game feels really meta. When you really look into and delve into it, for all its ridiculousness, this game is a treasure. It is a gem. It has some clunkiness, definitely for sure. And it's way too short. But at the end of the day, it's just a really fun game. It's not catered to casuals. So okay, Bayonetta 2 I wouldn't say is catered to casuals, but it's more accessible. Bayonetta 1 was kind of more difficult. This is way more difficult. If you've never played these types of games before, you're going to find this hard, unless you're a hardcore gamer. Even me, I like hack and slash games. I love the Bayonetta games. I loved Astral Chain. So, you know, I found this tough at first because it felt more hardcore. It wasn't accessible like those games were, but once you get into it, it's just an absolute joy and it's a never-ending thrill ride. And as I said already, it deserves every moment of the success it's getting. So who knows? We'll see how long more this lasts. If Metal Gear Rising Revengeance will continue its meme status for the rest of the year. As Maxor said in Monsoon's voice in his video, a good meme never dies, so this game probably will not either. Revengeance is immortal. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on the whole situation and the sudden popularity of this game. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance? Have you played the game? What do you think of the memes? Have you liked the game before? Did you want to get into it recently? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in relation to all of this down in the comment section below. And yeah, with that all said, thank you all for watching and please subscribe. Novus Corvius out.